This is the basketball show. What they gonna say next?
Well, hello, we are so excited to be back with the basketball show. I'm Jo Healy, alongside a man that needs no introduction, Shane the Hammer Heal. Hammer, what's cracking? How you doing?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to a big year, lots of NBA and NBL.
Lots to get through. A big shout out as well to our sponsors TCL Mobile and our broadcast partners News Corp as well. Hammer, let's kick things off with the stroke of the week. You want to talk about the NBL review system?
The instant replay system is what it's called, and it is great. It is so quick, and it's so different than the NBA. So you sit there with the NBA, it's like some big Hollywood performance. The referee comes back after seeing it over and over. We knew what should have happened at the very start, but they draw it out. The NBL has been able to do it where you don't even know that a review is actually going on. It's been perfect. And I think because it is so quick, it brings up another thing where why not go with the coach's challenge here? If you don't have to draw it out, we want the right result. And I know Andrew Bogut said it on Rogues Bogues the other day, and I've been saying it for a while. Why not have unlimited challenges to the referees?
It makes no sense, does it? If you think about the other sports, in tennis it's Hawkeye, in the NRL it's the captain's challenge. In general basketball rules, you knock your shot down, you get another one until you miss.
Exactly. If the ref's going to be wrong 10 times in a row, then keep calling him out. It happens quickly, we move on. If the coaches get the wrong review, then they're out.
No, exactly right. Well done to the NBL, though, for making it such a seamless part of the game. It keeps the game moving. It's time for our TCL Starting 5 now. Looking at the NBA, in particular, one man, we all know who it is. It's LeBron James.
The freak.
He is.
A freak. He's the real freak. Don't worry about the Greek freak. He is the freak. I said on Twitter only last week that jump on LeBron James at $8 to be able to win the MVP. He's in at $3.50 right now, if you don't mind. So there's some happy people around. There is no doubt that LeBron's people are going to be lobbying for him to be able to get it. He's going for a 5th MVP, equal the great MJ. So there'll be a groundswell of movement with the way he's playing. He's the MVP. Are
you somebody who likes to or can compare generations, or are you someone that sort of just sits back and says, no, I can't? They can play a completely different game.
I love them both, but I still can't say that LeBron's better than MJ. I think if MJ played in this day and age, he would be absolutely unstoppable. Don't worry about the scores and
Even
records.
though, did you see the other day LeBron sort of telling Rachel Nichols, I think it was, that he spends $1 million a year on his body?
Fantastic. That's good. Good on him.
MJ wouldn't have done that.
He's a pro. Well, he may have now.
True. But you have to compare them exactly as they were.
No, we don't. Come on, let's move on. MJ's the man.
He is. Jay Sean Tate.
How good.
Talk about seamless transitions and all that kind of thing. He's really fitting in nicely.
Well, I mean, the knock on him was that he was going to be too small to make a transition from college in the NBL to the NBA, but don't worry about that. He had 13 and 9 yesterday for the Rockets, the reborn Rockets, the best defensive team in the competition. They have been incredible since they got rid of Harden, but he's averaging 8 points and 5 rebounds a game. Toughness, desire, he plays that role, unselfish. Geez, what a player he's been. So good for the NBL that you can show that transition can be made.
Exactly right. He also said that it's really nice to have Will Weaver there as well. They can kind of lean on each other, and he's gone into this massive system, but it's nice to have someone there that he's close to and that he can sort of just lean on. As I said, Lamar Patterson with the Breakers. He's come back this season. He's kind of almost done a bit of a James Harden, hasn't he?
You reckon? I don't know where he's been hanging out, but 12 months ago he did exactly the same thing with the Brisbane Bullets. He's just out of shape. He's not ready to play. And when you earn big dollars, you've got to be a pro. I'm sure New Zealand won't say anything, and I know they're politically correct and their coach won't say anything, but when he turned up and you watch him play and not be able to deliver, he couldn't move. He couldn't play defence. He was shooting air balls. He was 1 from 4 from the free throw line. They couldn't play him in the last quarter. They paid big dollars, and you expect your players to be ready for the first game. Not play yourself in. He will be a great player because he's a star. But they need him now. They've lost 2 games, and they could have won those 2 games.
So no concerns that he won't get up to that peak fitness?
I think he will.
Yep.
But it's still not good enough that he didn't come ready to be able to go from game 1. And he's done it before. Repeat offence.
Let's focus on the positives. There are a number of new NBL imports that are lighting up the league this season. Who have you got as your top 3?
3 stars. Tyler Harvey to start with. What a superstar he is. Talk about a floater. He shoots his floater from anywhere. 23 points a game, 48, 44 and 94% from the field he's shooting at the moment. So superstar. I love Victor Law. Just a great defender, putting points on the board, 22 points a game, but great defender, and what a game winner he had against the Cairns Taipans as well. And Jarrell Martin hardly got the ball on the weekend, but 18 points a game, only playing 25 minutes a game because of restrictions to his minutes, but he will be a superstar, and he has the potential to be the best new import in the competition as time goes on.
There you go. You heard it here first. How do you think the Kings have been going at the moment?
Well, it's tough because they're missing a couple of key players. I think without Cooks, that was the main one. But they've still got enough talent to win the games that they've lost as well. Need more from Casper Ware. Need to play through Jarrell Martin. DJ's been good though. Vasilovic, he has been a star. Great pickup.
It definitely has. Melbourne United now. They're most people's essentially favourites to win the competition.
Yep.
Jock Landale, though, obviously has come out and said that he thinks they'll go undefeated. You have said that you'll shave your head if they do go undefeated. I feel like I'm the one that's going to be doing that if they do go undefeated. Talk to me. Surely they can't. Surely they can't
go undefeated. Cut it out, Jock. Cut it out. But I actually love the fact that he said it because not enough players say what they think. And he's got a belief that his team is better than everybody else. I think they win the championship, but they're not going to go undefeated. They're going to lose 3, 4, 5, 6 games in the year, and they still should finish number 1. So good on him for saying it, but I'll shave my head for charity. It won't be pretty. I don't know what's under here. I don't want to
know. I don't want to know.
We might see.
Let's go to our rookie watch right now. Last year's Rookie of the Year, NBL Next Star, superstar in his own right, LaMelo Ball. Compare that to this year's essential superstar, potential Rookie of the Year as well, Josh Giddey. Let's have a look at their numbers through the first 4 games of the season. It's pretty interesting stuff.
It really is. And I asked the stat man from the NBL, provided some stats over the weekend for me during the commentary. And the big thing for me is that Josh he's won 3 out of the first 4 games. So he's helped his team win it. Their stats are very similar. 10 points a game for Giddey, 8 rebounds a game, which has been impressive, and 5.5 assists. For Ball, he averaged 11.5 points per game, 5 rebounds and 5 assists. But he only won 3 games for the Illawarra Hawks for the entire year. Now, you might say his team sucked, but he didn't contribute to them winning. He was chasing stats, and I understand why, and he got the result by doing it. But his shot selection wasn't great. His defence wasn't great. I look at Ball and say he's a better athlete than Josh Giddey, much better athlete. And that's showing in the NBA. The good thing for...
Career high today?
27 points yesterday, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. He's been really good in the NBA. That's a good thing for Josh Giddey because the NBA teams go, oh, hold on, this is what he did in the NBL, this is what he's doing, this is what's translating to the NBA. What I love about Josh Giddey, though, is his poise and confidence and vision is very much like LaMelo. He can pass the ball as well as LaMelo. Both still struggle with their shots. Josh has to work on his shots, not shooting the 3 ball very well, but probably a better decision maker from the 3.
I know one thing we talked about last season with LaMelo Ball was the fact that he doesn't particularly read the game well. He doesn't understand the game, but just you mentioned he wasn't reading the game well. Do you think that Josh is better from that perspective?
Yeah, and I said that LaMelo was always going to be better going to the NBA and being in a pick and roll situation. It's so much more open. You know, they're getting up and down the floor, his vision to be able to make passes. And he's averaging 12.6 assists and 6 rebounds in the NBA. So he's playing great basketball. I think that Giddey's passing is just as good as LaMelo Ball. Still a lot of things to work on, but I love his confidence. And a 6'8" point guard as well. The NBA is going to love that. Exciting.
Where can you foresee him going in the draft?
I don't know enough about the other people in the draft, but what I do know that the NBL is translating to the NBA. We see it with Jay Sean Tate, we see it with LaMelo. So I think the NBA scouts and teams would be very excited about what they see, but long way to go in the season. He has to keep showing that he's going to develop as well, and his 3 ball is going to be important over time. Any
other rookies that have caught your attention this season so far?
Well, what about our man from Illawarra? He's been good, huh? What's his name? Jessup? What a shooter.
Justinian, yeah.
He's been
very
great.
Good.
So
already drafted, though, almost sort of proven to a certain extent. Interesting that he hadn't had much contact with the Warriors as of yet.
Yeah, he puts a few more threes up and he will.
Well, we love a debate here on the Basketball Show. It's time for another NBL legend, former NBL MVP Derek Rucker, to join us. This is Points Made. All right, guys, let's get into it. Derek, great to have you on. We've got 30 seconds for each of you for each response. We'll start with the NBA. So much of what has happened is centred around Brooklyn. The fact that they've got James Harden, they now have a big three. Derek, I want you to go first. Make your point. Will they win the championship?
I'm not sure they'll win it, Joe, but they'll definitely be in the NBA Finals for this reason. Their net rating, which is a bit of analytics. I know Shane's not an analytics guy, but their net rating has them at number 5 currently. To win the NBA championship, you must finish in the top 5. So they're on pace there. And not only that, over the past 7 years, the best offensive teams are the ones that win championships. Putting to rest that fallacy that defense wins championships. Now, I know Hammer hates James Harden, so there's no way he's going to say that he thinks that Brooklyn can win it all.
Let's find out. Hammer, what you got?
Well, of course they can win it all. There's no doubt they should win it all. They've got 3 of the best scorers and shot creators of all time in NBA history. They should win it. But I refuse to put a D in that man's name, Harden. They can't play D. Since he left Houston, they've become the best defensive team in the competition and they've started to win games. The big 3 for the Golden State Warriors had guys that played D with Klay Thompson. And they had guys that didn't need to dribble to be able to ISO, to be able to get points on the board. Egos will take over and they can win it, but they won't.
Your 30 seconds was up. Bang on point there, Hammer. Gents, time will tell. We'll find out exactly what happens. Let's go to the Boomers. It's the Olympics this year, obviously. They've never won a medal. If you had to put together a starting 5, Hammer, what would you go with? Make your point.
Well, I feel very good about this one. I would start with Paddy and Joey in the backcourt, 2 veterans, 2 guys that can create and score. I would go with the young gun, Josh Green, as a 3-man, a 3-and-D guy to get some youthful enthusiasm and some athleticism in that spot. Ben Simmons in there as well with Baines. So that means that Simmons has got 4 shooters around him, including Baines. That's a great lineup for me that I think could get it done. They would switch 2 through 5 on all pick and rolls, and that would be a very exciting team to watch.
Derek's facials suggest otherwise. What do you got?
Josh Green?
Yeah.
What? No. Have you heard of this guy? He plays out in Perth. He's about my size. His name's Bryce Cotton. He is going to be in that starting lineup. I'm going with Cotton, Ingles, Mills, Simmons, and Baines. That's my 5.
Oh.
And I'd be trying to get Bogut back in. I'd be trying to get Bogut back in the team. And that way, I would start Bogut. I think his defensive presence at the FIBA level is so strong, and that way that would allow me to bring Baines off the bench. And with Landale, I'm also going to consider Brock Modem. So, Shane, my 5 is a bit flexible, but I think that's a solid 5 right there.
I think he's gone with 8 players. But anyway, we'll take it.
Well done, gents. You both made your points. Luckily, you're not Boomers selectors, so we'll see what happens there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Speaking of Aussies, though, Mojave King, next star for the Taipans, he's only playing 11 and a half minutes a game. Derek, should he be playing more?
Wow. Talk about putting me on the spot in my first episode. Look, I work very closely with Mo, which means I'm going to be very biased. And I've said it before. Just because I'm biased does not mean I am wrong. Right now, the Cairns Taipans look like they have no idea what's going on. They need some direct leadership from above, and that means the coaching staff's got to get their substitutions right. Mojave King is highly touted by NBA scouts. I've talked to probably 15 NBA teams over the past 6 weeks about Mo. He needs court time. Every other guy, whether it's Justinian Jessup, who is slightly different, he's getting the rock.
All right, D.
Josh Giddey's doing a fantastic job.
D, that's your 30 seconds. Got to keep you honest. Got to keep you honest. That's your 30 seconds. Hammer, make your point.
Well, I think Mo's a star of the future, but he hasn't shown that yet. He definitely deserves more minutes than 2 minutes that he played on the weekend. Cut it out. But should he be starting or playing 20-something minutes? I think you've got to earn that. He doesn't have the same sort of swagger right now as Josh Giddey. You've got to give the coach belief that you're going to be able to get something done, shooting the ball at 24%, 21% from the three-point line.
Pre-season.
I think he's a star of the future, Okay, pre-season doesn't count. I could get 20 in pre-season, but over time, he will be a star, no doubt about it. He's got to earn his minutes. He should be playing about 15 minutes a game and he will contribute.
All right, gents, you've both made your points. Thank you very, very much. Derek, we'll look forward to hearing what you have to say next week as well. Time now for a look at our Aussies in the NBA. Hammer, the Jazz have been absolutely flying. They were 11-0 until today. Fair enough, they were beaten by Nikola Jokic dropping 47 points or whatever it was.
Wow.
But Joe Ingles, just an absolute star.
Broke John Stockton's record of threes. Now, you just told me 1,504 games for John Stockton. Joey did it in 493 games and he's dropped 846 trifectas. Absolutely unbelievable from Aussie Joe. And what a role he's played and how he's been able to string so many games together without injury as well. He's been the Iron Man of the NBA, so big well done to Joey.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent job. I did say to Hammer as well, SA represent, which...
He just chooses not to live there. You can't help where you're born, Joe. Can't help where you're born.
Let's talk about Paddy Mills. Boomer Paddy as well. He stepped up again this season.
Best defender in Paddy's career has been Pop. Hey, he's needed to let him go early. Come on, Pop. Paddy can score. It's amazing how he's come out at the start of the year and said, yep, I'm going Boomer's Paddy now. And his mindset was just incredible from the start. 15 points a game, been incredible, helped his team being able to probably overachieve really with the players they've got. And, good signs leading into the Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely. And also just listening to Brian Goorjian as well, speaking about the likes of Paddy Mills, Aaron Baines, Joe Ingles, and how passionate they are about wanting the Tokyo Olympics to go ahead. Gorge just said he was really, really surprised at how much these guys want that medal.
Well, I'm not surprised because these are the guys that have that Boomers passion. I'm more worried about the next wave of guys coming through to see whether they feel like these guys did and the way we did back in the day as well. But big credit to those guys because they're passionate Boomers, no doubt about it.
Definitely a question mark around one of those. Ben Simmons, the Aussie superstar, but he just seems to have petered out a little bit. He looks very settled, but not necessarily,
content. I think he's content, Ben, at the moment. And you saw his first couple of years in the league. I mean, he's a superstar. He is. He's an all-star, one of the best defenders in the competition, but just doesn't play with that aggressive mindset to be able to take a game on. I don't reckon anyone can stop him being able to attack the paint, be able to score with both hands. Hasn't really evolved his game to even hit elbow jump shots where it's going to the next level. Just everything is in the key. It's incredible, really, but can still play such a valuable role for Philly and for the Boomers, but I'd just love to see him get a little bit more grit, take a game by the scruff of the neck and go and win it.
It feels like he has had to fit into that system. Do you think he is simply just content being that ball distributor, being that lockdown defender?
Potentially. I mean, he plays such a valuable role. I mean, just because I think he's got more to give by going a little bit harder, there's no doubt he'll want to win. So sometimes being able to be, a little bit more of a role player, but we'll see how it plays out.
Well, Joel Embiid isn't playing today and Simmons is already up to 19 points or whatever. That's halfway through the third. So, I mean, it just goes to show when
he should be averaging that. He averaged that early in his career, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a 20-point player if he just plays with some sort of an aggression. Not that he's worried about his stats, but I think that sort of play helps his team.
Definitely. Ryan Broekhoff still hasn't got a team for this season. Concerns whether he will be able to break back into the NBA. Yeah. Reports today as well that the Phoenix and the NBL have perhaps been asking questions and pursuing that. Do you think that's a viable option for him?
He has to play. I don't care where he plays, but he has to play. He's been so long out of the game, and I'm a fan of Ryan Broekhoff. Really good player, really valuable for the Boomers as well. But you've got to get games under your belt to be able to continue to evolve as a player as well. Not a young player, but just needs to get some sort of momentum, and it'd be great for the NBL, great for Phoenix. If he played there, they would take him to a different level.
They definitely would. I'm still holding out hope for the Phoenix. I had them. I had them and the Hawks as my top four this season.
So far.
Well, the Hawks have taken that for the moment, but I feel like the Phoenix have the pieces. They're just not making it work yet.
Yep.
All right, time for my highlights, top 5 plays of the week.
Yes, Cam Oliver, number 1. What a dunk!
We're kicking off our top 5 plays of the round in the jungle. It's not often that Bryce Cotton is stripped of the ball, but this from Kiefer Sykes was crucial in keeping the Phoenix in it late.
We've seen him do this a million. Sykes just picks him by himself. We're all tied at 85.
And we all know how that one ended. In Bendigo, Joe Luala-Chill showed that he's not afraid to back himself in offence, and he had no troubles taking on Ben Moore in the paint.
Got baseline. Big Joe. Up he goes.
Both the Bullets and Taipans came up with some clutch plays down the stretch as they went to overtime, but it was all about this man in the end.
Takes it to the hole. You can't beat the law. What a great Brisbane Bullets will win.
The chemistry between Josh Giddey and Isaac Humphries has been fun to watch. The pair are living up to the hype and they put on a show against the Kings in Adelaide.
To Humphries. Butch and Sundance. Beautiful. That is a great play from Josh Giddey.
And finally, while the Hawks are killing it at the defensive end, it seems their offense is just as electric. Tyler Harvey is leading the charge and his float game was on point as they demolish the Taipans.
Can they go 4-0? This man thinks they can with a floater like that. Who's to argue with him? And then he says, hey boys, get this one out the net.
Are you kidding me?
There
Are
you
you kidding me?
Don't
Cam
start.
Oliver. Where is he?
I knew this is exactly what
Please
you were
tell me
going
it was
to say.
Director Dave that told you couldn't have it.
That was round 2. These were specifically round 3
This
highlights.
is our first
I knew
show.
you were going to say that.
Come on, Cam Oliver. That was the dunk of the year that he missed out on. I love
Great
your
dunk,
highlights.
great dunk, although-
Great job, Joe. But
I reckon we'll see even more from him this season.
really? Okay, we'll see. I'm not
I
sure.
think so.
That was good.
That's it. That's all we've got time for this week on The Basketball Show. Thank you for watching. Thank you to TCL Mobile as well. And we'll see you guys next week.
This is a co-production by News Corp Australia and Closer Sports.